Because it is one of the most popular animated films in the last century, many of you might have had the opportunity to see Disney's Fantasia. One of the funniest scenes in Fantasia is The Sorcerer's Apprentice, in which Mickey Mouse takes the sorcerer's hat and tries to clean his studio using magic lots of brooms. However, he loses control of the brooms and chaos ensues. Well, the music during this film is very recognizable, and the instrument playing is the bassoon. The bassoon, like many other instruments and musicians, they are required to practice their music to become proficient in their trade. However, practicing is not enough in most cases. Many musicians are required to make part of their instruments, and the bassoon falls into this category. Bassoonists are required to make their reeds, which is the part of the instrument that you blow into to produce sound. Now there are 4 steps to making a reed. There is preparing the cane, trimming the cane, making a reed shape, and finishing the reed. Now the first step in making a bassoon reed is preparing the cane. And when it arrives in the mail, it is about 120 millimeters in length. And it is pre-gouged, which means its thickness is already prepared for you to work with. Now the first thing we need to do, as stated by Mr. James McKay in his 2001 book, The Bassoon Reed Manual, Lou Skinner's Techniques, is shape the cane. To do this, we use a Hertzberg shaper, which is like a metal clamp in the shape of an hourglass. We place our bassoon cane inside the clamp, and we use an X-Acto knife to shave off the ends, where our cane looks like an hourglass. Next, we will profile this piece of cane. So we stick it in the profiler, and we run a blade across the top, which makes it its designated thickness to work with. So now that we have prepared our cane, we will learn about trimming our cane. The second step in making a bassoon reed is trimming the cane. So as stated by Mr. McKay, the ends of our bassoon cane will need to have a 1-inch section that is thicker than the rest. So we will clip the ends to equal 1 inch in length. Next, we will fold the cane in half, not to where it breaks, but just folded. And then we will wrap a piece of string 8 times around our 1-inch section and place our piece of cane on a pin like this to where it will dry in a cylindrical shape. So now that we have talked about trimming our cane, we will talk about forming a reed shape. The third step in making a bassoon reed is forming a reed shape. Now, as recommended by Mr. McKay, we will use a 23 gauge brass wire. We will wrap it twice around our 1-inch section, 1 inch from the bottom, and 1/4 of an inch from the bottom, and 1/4 of an inch from the top. Then we will wrap it 3 times around the middle, 7/14 of an inch from the bottom. Then we will wrap nylon thread around our wire, which will seal our cylindrical shape and not let any air escape. So now that we have formed our reed shape, we will finish our reed. So the final step in making a bassoon reed is finishing the reed. To finish the reed, we will need to clip the tip off, so now we will have 2 blades that will go together and form a sound when you blow into it. According to Mr. McKay, we will need to file the back of our reed with a diamond-tipped file to 1.7 millimeters in thickness. Then we will take some sandpaper and sand down the reed to where it gradually decreases in thickness towards the tip. Now to test our reed, we will blow through it to see if it makes a crowing noise, and if it has an accurate pitch, then we are all done. So, our 4 steps to making a bassoon reed are preparing the cane, trimming the cane, making a reed shape, and finishing the reed. Over this process, it is quite involved. So, as you can see, musicians, it's more than just practicing the notes. It's very involved in making the equipment. So, I encourage you to appreciate musicians for more than just their arts and field. And I encourage you to acknowledge all the hard work that musicians put into their trade, especially bassoonists.